Y'all all know my love for Frankenstein. I have a ton of Frankenstein toys and art. Hell, I even have a ton of Frankenstein Roblox outfits. But where did this love of the character come from? My mom. My mom being incredibly neurodivergent like me, she started collecting Frankenstein memorabilia when I was little. Toys, statues, and even dolls. Lots of dolls, actually. It was practically her favorite thing to collect, or it was just the cheapest. She had a ton of these Frankenstein dolls, all the way to officially licensed ones to ones that were just avoiding copyright infringement. She even bought dolls of already existing characters, but just dressed up as the Green Man himself. And one day, she brought home this one doll. It was normal as you can get. It was officially licensed and was bought at one of those novelty stores you find at the mall, if I'm remembering correctly. But there was literally nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. But for some reason, little 5-year-old me was terrified of it. I took one good look at it and screamed. I avoided that thing like the plague. If I saw it, I immediately ran away. It even got to the point where I had nightmares about it almost every night. Dreams of it chasing me in dark forests. Dreams of me running out of my room to find it standing up staring at me. Hell, I even had a dream where I ran away to my friend's house just to look out the window to find that it followed me there. I was horrified by this thing, for literally no reason at all. Was it the face? I mean, it had a fully sculpted plastic face that looked exactly like Boris Karloff, so maybe it was uncanny to me. It also had very exaggerated proportions, so maybe that freaked me out. I honestly don't really know. I do know one thing, however. I never played with it. Like I said, if I saw it, I immediately ran. But somehow I would find it in different spots around the house every day. It was always lying around in a weird position, just like if a kid played with it and just threw it to the side, but I knew for a fact that no one was playing with it. I was the only person in the house that still played with toys. My brother was a preteen and my parents were, well, adults. But there it was, every day in a new spot in a random position, just like if a kid threw it to the side. Either lying on its side or in a sitting position. For this very reason, my mom thought I was playing with it. And every time I told her I did not like the toy, she would tell me, "Well, you're clearly playing with it." This went on for months. I had nightmares, and would wake up to find it in a different place, day after day. Then one day, I was running around my house, kicking a ball. Eventually, the ball rolled under my bed. I looked under the bed to see that the doll was laying sideways across the room, its back propped up onto the wall. And I so happened to be in a position to be making eye contact with it. Stared at it for a second. Then all of a sudden, its face moved. It moved its face like it wasn't plastic but human skin. Its face moved into an expression of pure rage. It had the face of someone that wanted to kill me. I immediately got up and ran away. I didn't tell anyone. I just went about my day trying to pretend that never happened. I didn't see the doll much after that. I would occasionally find it by accident, but it was no longer out in the open. It was always hidden. Always. And eventually, we started to move to a different house, and it was packed away. Once we moved to the new house, all my mom's collectibles were put in a giant display case. The doll was put at the end of the top shelf, tucked away to the corner. For that very reason, I kind of forgot about it for a while. But the family computer was across the room, in front of the display case. And sometimes late at night, I would feel something from that direction staring at me. Sometimes I would even hear tapping, clawing. But I have really bad anxiety, so I just shrugged it off as me being paranoid and just kind of got used to it. Eventually just forgetting about the doll altogether. Until one day, many years later, me, my mom, and my younger cousin were all sitting on the couch watching TV. Halfway through, whenever we were watching, my cousin started crying. My mom asked her, "What's wrong?" She pointed at the display case. "The doll is looking at me," she cried. My mom got up and covered the entire doll with the other dolls and plushies, and my cousin calmed down. And my mom never bothered moving the dolls off of it. She just forgot she did that, and it just stayed like that, covered. We soon moved to a new place, where we would have many problems with the house, resulting in most of our stuff still being in storage in the attic to this day. So basically, ever since my cousin cried about the doll, it has completely been gone from my sight. I haven't seen it for probably 8 years now. Right now, it's just sitting in a box in the attic. You can really check this all up to a little kid with an active imagination and anxiety disorder. Not to mention, I did have an unrelated traumatic experience around the time of my first encounters with the doll. So I could have clearly just have been an extremely anxious and stupid child going through some shit. But every night, I hear something in the attic. Clawing, tapping. I even hear footsteps. Yeah, sure, it could just be a squirrel or a rat. But that doll was up there. Maybe it's still mad at me.